Good evening, YouTube. What's up, peeps? Yeah, I'm cool now. Get used to it. It is Zanrith, and today I am on a 2020 Duke 390. Why, you may ask? Did Zanrith buy another bike? Does his love for orange extend into Dukes? It does, but he did not buy a new bike. What happened is today, my friend Josh, who I work with and is into motorcycles, just bought a Duke 390. But Josh does not have a permit or gear or anything, and he found a 2020 still on the showroom floor, and he had to have it because it looks better to him than the 2021s. Then actually, I gotta agree with him. I think the orange looks amazing, and why KTM stopped doing it is beyond me. So here we are in Rochester, heading back to Buffalo, and I'm going to do a little impression on the things I found out. I've gone 25 miles on this bike so far, and I already recorded this once, but if you don't hit the record button, your GoPro doesn't record what you're saying, so little problems there. So yeah, it's a brand new. I mean, it had 0.6 miles on it when we grabbed it from the dealership, so. And everyone's gonna merge like assholes here. And we're good to go. Okay. I just want to give everyone their movement. Weird. So yeah, we picked it up brand new. Had to go out to Maddie's East in, I want to say Farmington, which is different for me. I'm used to going to Howler's every time I deal with bikes because they're my guys. But they did not have any 2020s in stock, so we went somewhere else, which is weird because that never happens to me. Oh, that was a good one. So let's start off with you guys going, why are you on a highway with a 390? Well, that's because I can. This bike is powerful enough to do highway riding. I'm doing 64 and a 55, which, you know, for those of you who've ridden before know that that speedometer is not 100% accurate. But I'm keeping up with traffic. That's all I'm trying to do right now. Just keep up with traffic and adjust mirrors. Oh. That's better. And we're cruising. The bike has enough power to do it. I got no problems with it. It does start to flash out to tell me to shift into 7th, right about 65 miles an hour. And that's sadly something we're not going to be able to change until 600 miles on the bike, which is 90% sure that's the break-in period for this bike, is 600 miles. So it's got enough power. It's very light, it's very nimble, it's flickable. I can go around corners very easily. I can't so much in this one because brand new tires, and they still got that anti-corrosion, anti-wear stuff. That slick coating they put on it looks like someone armor all your tires. Not a great idea to lean this bike too much today because it is so brand new. But it's very leanable. I can already tell it's super light, super easy, and without having fairings on it, I can get over the tank and I can get this thing moving pretty easily. I can already tell that. Oh, so what else can we talk about? Ergonomics. Let's go to ergonomics on this. I am upright. I'm getting all the wind right now, but I am upright, and that's what this bike is made for. It is an upright, naked motorcycle, and it is doing its job perfectly. With that said, if you're on the highway a long time, this could get a little annoying. We're not going to take the highway a whole lot, but we are going to take some highway today. We're going to get off of this, and we're going to go in places that are 55, and that's about it. That's as much as we're going to max out at. We're going to do 55 later, and we're going to be doing 60, 62, somewhere in there through the back roads. Because I don't like highway riding as it is, because it just gets boring. There's no scenery. There's no, I really got to get this mirror just, there we go. There's no, let's get it on. There's just no curves. It's just highway. It's just people. And, you know, I like COVID where people say it's 6 feet away from me, and I wish everyone would say 6 cars away from me now on the bike. But it is what it is. So the controls are right where they need to be. Everything's the same for me. I've got, you know, starting on the left, we've got a horn down low. We've got your tactile turn signals, and they feel really good. They've got some response to them. They don't just feel like squishy little buttons. They actually have some pressure to them, which is awesome. I've got this select enter up down on the left side. I don't know if my camera's picking it up or not. I'm hoping it is. But that lets you go through all the rider modes and all the setups in this. Apparently this has a supermoto mode. I don't know what the difference is between the modes. I'm not a KTM guy, and this isn't my bike, so I didn't research it as much as Josh will. And maybe some point Josh will be able to give us an update on what he thinks of this, but I haven't asked him if he wants to be on the channel or if he cares about it. So I'm just gonna do this video without Josh's permission and see what he says later. Let this guy go. Safety, man, safety. Gotta stay visible, gotta stay vigilant when you're out here. Other than that, on the right side, you got your kill switch on the top, the red guy, and you got a starter button. That is it on the right. The thing I wish I saw, which I don't see and I don't think exists on this, is just a hazard flasher light, four-way flashers, just for safety reasons. I'd prefer that, but I don't see it. I don't know if there's a setting where I can turn that on or not. Who knows? We'll figure all that out later. Other than that, we've tested everything. Everything works perfectly on this bike as it should. Moving around, you can see the display. The display shows us that I'm going 64 miles per hour, and I'm going to turn that up a bit as we just went into a 65 zone. Now, with that, you're not going to hear me as well because there's going to be more wind right in my face, which I don't like, but we're doing it. So it tells me my trip 1, my time in trip 1, so it literally will tell you how long you've been in this. This bike's been on for 45 minutes. That's with it sitting at the dealership, warming up a bit, going over some features with Josh, and talking with the salesman. I set the date on this because I couldn't stand seeing, you know, January 1st, 2018 when this thing was set to, so I put it to today's date, which is 5/1, aka May 1st. I know some of you in the European countries, yours might be different, I don't know, but in the US we put the month in front of the day. Maybe the bikes for the UK or the EU have that backwards, so you get, because I'm pretty sure in Europe they do the day, the month, and then the year, but don't quote me on that. I haven't left the States in a long time. The other thing it tells you, which I think is really neat, is your battery voltage. Your current battery voltage, which this one looks like it's at 14.1, which means it's charging nicely while riding. Love it. Can't ask for more. That's a great thing to see all the time on your bike, just to know if there's anything going wrong. Especially for a new rider who might go, I don't know what the problem is, and he looks at his battery and it says it's at 10 volts, you know there's something with the battery going on. Great for new riders. And that's what this bike is really set up for, as a new rider, or anyone who wants to hang around in the city. I'm going around this car, I can't do this anymore. This truck's taking my time away. And like I said, we're going to get this thing moving. We're going to get around that guy. And we're going to crank this thing up to 20. Or 70, I mean. Oh, hello, Copper. And what do we got? There we go. Yeah, so she'll go. Got no problem. But that guy was going way too slow for me. The other thing we did, one thing we changed on this bike so far is the display. You guys are seeing it right now in night mode. Josh and I both looked at it and went, wow, that's really white before, and I'll show you a picture of that right here. Okay, I slid one in, right? Did I do it? Check me if I did in YouTube. I think I edited it properly. But it looks like that normally with a white background, and I was not feeling that. I like the black. I think it makes it look sleek. It makes it look like one continuous piece up there, instead of being a white square inside of a black housing. So we've changed it. That's up to Josh whether he wants to keep it that way or not. From what we read online is the screen will change between light and dark automatically based on the ambient light. How true that is, I don't know. I just literally looked it up on like Duke 390 forums, and that's what I saw. So whether that happens or not, who knows. And now, seeing as I did not record this before, let's check to make sure my GoPro's recording. Look at that, folks. GoPro's recording. We're good to go. Okay, so we've talked over all of our beautiful controls, the display. There's other modes and settings in this, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't know enough about this bike. And I'm 90% sure that the settings I want to get into can only be activated if the bike is holding still. I can't go through the whole menu while riding, which makes sense because you don't want to be going through like sub-menus of Bluetooth and all these other options, which this does have Bluetooth in it. I don't know what it does exactly, or what the app is it hooks up to, because I don't know KTM's as well, but it has it, so it has some functionality that I don't know about. please check out anyone else's YouTube video that does this better than I do. Yeah, so other than that, ergonomics are beautiful. I'm upright. Like I said, my arms are slightly bent right now. I am going into the wind. I'm getting a lot of wind, so I'm leaning forward just a bit to kind of counteract that. But it's not bad. I could sit straight up, and doing 70 something and sitting straight up, I'm getting a little wind, so I'm a little hunched over. Not bad. Legs are right below me, and being what am I, 5'11", 5'11" inches, or I don't know what that is in centimeters. I'll display it on the screen for you. With a 32-inch inseam-ish, because I never measure, but I wear 32 pants, so 32-inch inseam. My legs are tucked nicely behind the little fairings down there. You can see my knees and my jeans. I'm tucked nicely, and I think the controls are really good for that. The clutch and brake both are solid on this. Pulling the clutch in is easy. It's got enough give that you can feel you're doing it, but it's not so much that you're hurting your hand or anything, which is, whatever. The brakes got some good feel to it. These come stock with ABS on them, and now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the Supermoto mode turns off ABS. That could be something, because I know the Supermoto mode exists. I thought it didn't display. But yeah, the brakes seem really good. The thing I'm not really fond of right now is the placement of the rear brake. I have to really reach down for it. Something where if I reach out my foot right now and put it on the peg, it's really down for me. And I don't know if that's by factory default or if it's very adjustable. I'm assuming it's got some adjustment to it without taking the brake off. Like there's some kind of adjustment we can make. But I told Josh that's the one thing I don't like so far is that brake seems so far down that I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with it down there, especially with him being a new rider. I want to be able to feel it and not have to push all the way to the floor. Like, I feel like I can put my heel on it and push down, like, by the front of my foot and tipping my foot down just isn't enough for me. I mean, I can do it, but it's not comfortable, so. But that's a feeling, something if you're buying a bike, you're going to feel out all the controls and change things. Somebody's front bumper or something over there. Other things that I do not like about this bike is that I have to give it back. That's about it. No, everything else is great on this. The mirrors are very functional. I don't like how they look, but they're so functional. I can see behind me in both mirrors, which I don't think on my Kawasaki's I can see directly, like, I can overlap see behind me in these mirrors right now. And I'm kind of forward on it. So, like, I can see a lot of these mirrors, and that's super helpful, especially for new riders. Josh, I know, wants to get something different. I told him, learn to ride with these for a little bit, get some miles under your belt, and then we'll talk about switching them out. Whether he does or whether he waits, it's up to him. It's his bike. But I would recommend going with something a little more stylish at some point for riders. That's about it. Other than that, the bike's got enough grunt, it's got enough kick, it's got some torque to it. A surprising amount for what I felt when I'm going from a dead stop. This is definitely a city bike for the commuter in a city. This is a perfect bike, I think, for them. It's not too expensive, coming in at, I think, $5,500 MSRP plus all your title, tax, and blah, 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 blah. I don't know what that's going to be for you because everywhere's different. You know, taxes, title, delivery fees, all that. But it's actually a pretty solid bike, and if I had known these existed when I bought my Kawasaki Ninja 300, I may have considered something like this. It's not as much my style as I think a full fairing bike is, but it's still a damn good looking bike, and if you've been on the channel long enough, you know I like orange. So that's all I've got on that. The bike looks amazing. I'll put a picture up right here of where we stopped for lunch in Rochester at Dinosaur Barbecue. Highly recommended. And I took this picture on one of the bridges that goes over the Genesee River. I think the bike looks amazing. Josh originally wanted the white fairings in the front, but there were no 2020s left with white, so he had to settle for the orange, which he already friggin' loves, and is like, I don't know if I'd change it now. So it took him like 5 minutes to fall in love with the orange when it's in person. It is very vibrant too. Being vibrant is super important for new riders as well. Other people will see you better. Like, my bike's black. My Ninja 636, that is a black bike, front to back. Everything's black except for the rim tape and the shifters. And, yep, you can't see me if it's dark out, if you don't have your high beams on me. And that's something a new rider might find a little bit intimidating, or might not even think about, is nobody's gonna freaking see me on this thing at night. Where this has got some bright orange, it's got some white, it's got that cool trellis frame exposed. It looks sick. With that, it's got a cool headlight system that I really like on this, and the turn signals are good. I think we can replace them with some LED ones. I'm pretty sure that Snowcat, my man Snowcat, out in Canada there, pretty sure it's Calgary, he's got a Duke 1290, and he had to get the LED lights from Europe itself. They don't sell them in the States, which is whatever, but we can get aftermarket ones that I think would look a little better than this. But still, these are not bad at all. These are some good solid turn signals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean this thing a little bit in these corners, but with new tires, new bike, I'm not going to play with it too much, but it is super maneuverable. Josh is following me, and he's having a little, no, he's not having any trouble keeping up, but I'm having fun with it. So I've warmed the tires up, we've gotten some of the crap off them, so I'm good to go. So I'm going to play around with it just a little bit and mess with him. He's following me in his car. Other than that, he's already got a list of mods he wants to do to this bike, and I'm going to help him. Whether he wants me to record any of that or not is his choice, but I'm recording this because I get to ride it. Other than that, first thoughts on a Duke 390 coming up for you. My first thoughts is, if you're thinking about one and you are a new rider, this is a cool bike. Ooh, I did not pop into gear there. That was interesting. I pulled the clutch in, downshifted, and it sat between gears, I think. So we'll have to see what just happened there and why it did that. Wave to the homies. Oh, I just got a ding in my helmet. I don't know what that was. Not sure. But yeah, it went between gears there. I don't know if I just was too ginger with the foot peg because I don't want to hurt his bike. It's brand new. Or what, but they went between gears there. But this is definitely, I want to say it's going to be geared more to the people that aren't going to do a lot of highway riding. Like you can, trust me, you can do highway riding on this all day. As you saw, I was doing 70 something, I was cruising. If your highway gets a little, like, if you got highways over 80, you might be stretching. I'm pretty sure there's a couple stretches in West Virginia that I've been through that were like 75, 80 for the highway speeds. It might be a bit much. I know there's some places in Texas where no matter what the highway speeds are, people just fly. And this is from my brother who's lived in Texas for a long time. Where are you going? Okay, I don't know where the car in front of me was going, but I just let off. Where was, oh, highways in Texas. Yeah, they're a little fast, so this might not be as great for people that are going to ride like that. This is going to be awesome in corners. It's light, it's nimble, it is flickable. You can lean it left, right. I mean, I can do it right here. We're going to do a little, like, I mean, I can do this all day long. This is a very nimble, responsive bike. It's not too heavy. If you drop it, you can pick it up. With that said, we are getting crash bars for this. We looked into what Josh wants to do with it, and he's like, oh, I want those crash bars. They attach right to the frame. I squeak like a 12-year-old. And with attaching to the frame like that, they almost look built in. They look great. So we're going to probably do that as one of his first mods. Also something, because it is his first bike, to protect the engine casing and the frame in case he does drop it, which you're going to drop your bike. There's going to be a day where everyone drops your bike, and you don't own a bike until you drop a bike. I have dropped every bike I have, except for my ZX6R, knock on wood, at least once. So it's just part of living, and you gotta face the music sometimes. Actually, my Ninja 300's been dropped by every single person that's ridden it. Every single person I've had to ride it, which is only 3 people, has dropped my Ninja 300. And it's still a great bike. I love it. So guys, these have been my first thoughts. Lots of mods can be done to these relatively cheaply too. Kawasaki. KTM has a bunch of parts in their catalog that bolt right onto this thing. And when I was looking at it, I didn't think they were terribly priced. Like a KTM to get into is a little more expensive than a comparable Japanese brand. At that, you know, CC level, they're a little bit more, but the parts seem to be okay priced. And reliability is a question I've seen come up for these bikes once in a while, but with proper maintenance, we should be okay. I am the guy who will probably maintain most of this bike for Josh. He'll come over and do it too. Like, he'll probably learn a lot from me on this, but I'll help him with it as much as I can. I want to buy that place and set up a garage. Nah, just kidding. So, yep, if you like it, If you want to subscribe to see more about the Duke, or more about my Kawasaki's, a little bit about a Yamaha, you know what to do. And we'll be back with more KTM, more Kawasaki, more Yamaha. Beautiful videos coming up soon. So everyone stick around. Shoot, YouTube. Forgot one of the coolest things about this bike. You're buying an entry-level 390 here, right? And she comes with adjustable levers. Clutch and brake lever are both adjustable. And that's pretty neat off a entry-level bike.